You're listening to the Farmer Yard Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Farmer Yard. It's a movement, have you heard? And our Patreon supporters. Episode 49, Summer Disguised as Spring, with host Linda Borghi.
Well, hello everyone. Linda Borghi here from Farmer Yard. You are just one seed away. It is the 1st of June, and it's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in Silver Spring, Maryland. I'm sitting outside. Oh, these birds. I hope they're recording because I feel like I'm in a Disney movie. So many babies and all of these beautiful, beautiful bushes that surround me. Roses, and I don't even know what this pretty pink one is behind me, but she is magnificent. I'll have to ask my friend Janet Johnson. I'm here helping her out. She just got a new knee yesterday. Well, anyway, I'm sitting here thinking and feeling and sensing that this spring is continuing into summer. This is the summer that feels like spring. And this happened not too long ago. Well, for me, it was in the last decade. Anyway, when I was up on Walker Valley, and we had a season just like this. A lot of moisture, a lot of the water forces, all of that occurring and happening into the summer. And I remember that I had a full crop of tomatoes, I had basil, I had a lot of crops out there. And what was happening with the farmers around me, what I was hearing is that they were experiencing a lot of blight, a lot of root end rot on their blossom end rot on the tomatoes. A lot of things were getting too wet, just like we were getting too wet. You know, black mold could form. When you would get into bed, even with the air conditioning, everything was damp. That's how it is now. But I can tell you that I did not experience too much damage. And this is what I attribute it to. I would spray the Biodynamic spray number 501. That is the silica spray. And at that time, I was farming a half an acre, but I did have a 100-gallon Vortex brewer and a tractor and a birth orchard sprayer attached to my tractor. So I was spraying and spraying and spraying 501 whenever I felt like it. And I really attributed it to that particular biodynamic preparation. Now, as I've said in the past, I am not an expert in biodynamics. I really am not. But from the principles that I have grasped in my noodle brain, I just understood them the way that I needed to understand them, and it was really very honest and truth for me. There was no question as to why it wouldn't work. So am I telling you that because I believed it would work, it worked? Well, I don't know. But either way, it didn't matter to me because it was functioning on a very high level. Now, I've studied an awful lot about thought forms and thoughts and, gone all the way back to the beginning, the Vedas, the hymns of the Rig Vedas, And these practices have been around an awfully long time, like 5,000 years, and they're still being practiced today. So I feel that going with that kind of theories, understanding them, listening to them, watching them, reading about them, and understanding them in my own way has definitely excelled the process. Just like when I'm stirring by hand the biodynamic preparations for an hour, right? Even if it's pre-potentized, that means it's really strong Java juice, even if it's prepotentized and you only have to stir it for 20 minutes, I still stir it for 1 hour because I felt that it would take all that time to get my thoughts into that water. And the majority of the thoughts that I have is based on food and water. Everyone, every day. Yep. Food and water, everyone, every day. So I want to pump it into that water really good, get it really saturated into every little molecule of that H2O. Yep. I want my thought forms to transform that water so that those thoughts will manifest in my physical reality. That's what I do. So, because this is the summer that feels like spring, take advantage of it and, keep growing your kale and put in a little bit more lettuce and, the things that enjoy the spring wet weather. And with the others, contact Josephine Porter Institute in Woolwine, Virginia, and I'll give you the information, the link to contact them in the show notes, and get started spraying biodynamically. Yep. I tell you that it shifts energy. That's what has happened to me, and that is what I have felt, is that when you stir and you spray these preparations as a gift for the earth beneath your feet, the energy field shifts. And I really think that if we could all do this, and could you imagine that whole energy field of everyone just shifting from the darkness to the light? Oh boy, that would really be heaven on earth. Yeah, Peruni. Well, that is all I have to say for today, my dear friends. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you're all benefiting greatly by listening to our podcast, our Farmyard podcast. Please do us a favor. Please download and subscribe. And if you really like them, leave us a comment. That really helps us in the ratings so that we can get it out to more people and we can turn this food train wreck around. Alrighty? Okay, baby dolls, I will catch you on the flip side. And until then, go farm that yard.
This podcast is community supported. We thank everyone for tuning in, and a special thank you goes out to all our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe and share. You can help support us through Farmyard, all one word, on patreon.com.